what exactly is an appraisal? So an appraisal is a third-party valuation of what your home is worth in today's market. So they're going to take past sales and houses that are currently pending on the market and compare that to the price that you're purchasing the home for. So they're going to give a unbiased opinion of what the house is worth in today's market. Now, whether that's the price you're paying that for, or whether it's a different price, that these are higher or lower, that depends upon what the appraisal comes back at. Also with appraisal, like sometimes there could be additional repairs that the appraiser is going to require in order to satisfy the requirements of the appraisal to get the evaluation that you need. So once that happens, the seller will have to make the repairs in order to get the appraisal complete. You'll have to have a re-inspection done. Appraisals are usually required by the lenders. It depends upon, sometimes we can get an appraisal waiver, but that's usually when you're putting down more than 20% on the home. So when you have the appraisal, the lender will require payment. So usually, we're seeing between $500 and maybe up to $1,000 depending upon the location and how fast it needs to be done. And then you'll get that appraisal back within usually a week or two, hopefully sooner, because then that allows, if there are any issues with the appraisal, to be able to be addressed. You're not really pushing the close date. If the buyer feels like the appraisal does not meet the requirements, the evaluation that they think the house is worth, you can potentially, petition to get the appraisal reevaluated based upon additional comps that you find are more suitable for the house. I know in my experience that doesn't work very often, but every once in a while it does. So you just can't count on it, but it is something that you can potentially do. If the appraisal doesn't come back, that does kind of reopen up negotiations. So the seller does have the opportunity to either lower the price of the appraised value, or the buyer is allowed to bring additional money, or sometimes we just get to the point where we can't come to an agreement and the contract does become null and void, and we cancel the contract. So it just really depends, it just depends upon the situation of the seller, depends on the situation of the buyer, and just obviously how bad they want the house and how bad the seller wants to sell. It is third party, so it is sometimes, really frustrating process sometimes, because it's not something that the real estate agent or the lender has a lot of control over. The appraisers kind of work on their own timeline, so hopefully it's a timeline that supports what is required for the house to close. Thanks for joining us today. If you are in the market for buying or selling a home, please reach out to us. This is Steve Myers with Urban Cool Homes, signing off.